Good evening, folks, and welcome back, everybody. I'm Frank Nitti, and jeez, I look like I'm in the Untouchables tonight. I'm Tom. It's the 12th of October, 1995. The simulcast is up and running now on CBS Radio and Television with Suzanne Somers from Step by Step on ABC, and June Oswald, who is the daughter of Lee Harvey Oswald, the man accused of assassinating President John F. Kennedy in Dallas in 1963. Let me tell you a fast story here about Suzanne Somers and why I am so delighted that she's here. When I began to promote this program, which seems like 20 years ago, remember?
Yes.
I was being interviewed by Harry Smith of the CBS Morning News. And he asked me, he said, who would you like to have on your program as your first guest? And I said, well, you start with Jack Nicholson and Billy Crystal and Dana Carvey and Bill Clinton, and then you work your way back through McLean Stevenson, and you're delighted to have Suzanne Somers as your first guest. I meant it as a joke, right? Well, Suzanne was watching this with her husband, my friend Alan Hamill, and she sent me a two-word fax. The second word was you, with Christmas decor. So I sent her a note. I said, Suzanne, I really meant this as a gag, and it probably didn't come out the right way. I said, I apologize. I said, you and I have known each other far too long for this to get in the way of our friendship. Geez, we did a show for NBC 25 years ago called the National Love, Sex, and Marriage Test, which I failed. And so she sent back a very, very nice note, and I'm happy that she's here tonight to talk about the Buttmaster. Can only imagine what's coming next, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, Sunday last, I had a call from Mother Snyder. She said, Tom, I need some help. I said, Mom, what's the matter? She said, I'm gripped. And I said, what does that mean? She said, stopped up. I said, got it. So I called the doctor and I said, you know, Mom needs some help. He said, I'll get things moving. I said, thank you. Well, I got the call this morning at 9 o'clock. Hi, Tom. Bingo. I said, great. She said, by the way, she said, I need some hairnets. I said, Mom, we just bought you 24 hairnets a week and a half ago at the drugstore at Walgreens. She said, I'm out of hairnets. I said, I'll be right down. So I went down this afternoon. And I went through the drawer, and there's 25 or 30 hairnets. We've cornered the concession on tidy hair. And she looks at me and she says, by the way, she says, you know, tell Tom that my eyeglasses are perfect. I said, great. And she says, tell Tom, you know, I'd like to see him on Sunday. I says, Mom, I am Tom. She says, you know, you are a dead ringer for him. Oh, God. She now calls her room CNN because she comes back from dinner every night and the TV's blaring on CNN. And my mom is in love with Larry King, and so she thinks the room number is now CNN. And I'm doing nothing to change this. You know, it's fine with me. Anyway, letters, we get letters on Prodigy. This came in today. Dear Tom, I watch your show every evening and often wonder who exactly are you speaking to off camera when you joke and ask questions of your fellow workers. Would you please introduce these folks to us so we can identify them unless they are terribly deformed? Thank you. Thank you, Daniel Roberts, Juneau, Alaska. Dear Daniel, they are terribly deformed. Before going to Suzanne Somers, tonight Brian McAloon spent heavy coin. Yes, taking myself and the fair Sandra Restrepo, who is the associate director of the program, and Mark Kennedy, who is the floor manager / car dealer on the program, to a very fine all-meat restaurant in Los Angeles. Wasn't it delicious, though, huh? And you know, the fair Sandra said, meat's making a big comeback, and Kennedy said, believe me, it never left. To which I said, I can't believe that we won the West on quiche and salad. Back with Suzanne Somers, a bit later on, June Oswald. Fire up the simultanees and watch the pictures as they fly through the air. Thanks for watching, everybody.
It's color printing, and it's state-of-the-art. It's flyers.
Maybe you won't, but at least you'll get an idea of what someone else's life is really like and what someone else really thinks. And that's a lot. This is my show.
Late nights, right here on New York's Channel 2.